Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Simon.
And I am a rail enthusiast who loves going up and down the country, riding on the trains, filming and taking photos of them as well. These videos of my railway journeys can differ sometimes as they can go to plan or will go bad.
Welcome to Simon Trains Railway Journeys. Hello everyone, welcome to the 0653 service to Rugeley Trent Valley. We're on 35241, headed down this 1 mile and 25 chain line, and today we'll be calling at the following principal stations as we go into the Manchester area to do some filming of the trains. Reddish North, Dinting, Harwich Parkway, Hindley, and our final station we shall be visiting, Ashton-under-Lyne. So we're just about to leave now to head to Rugeley Trent Valley. We're going to catch the 0710 service to Stafford, which goes on to Crewe, but I'm going to change it to Stafford because there's a 5-minute connection for my next train, which is 0724, which is a cross-country service to Manchester Piccadilly, which goes by Crewe. It's easier to change at Stafford than Crewe. So I'm heading up to the West Coast Main Line now, and hopefully let's see if we have a good day today in Manchester.
CCTV recording is in operation at this station for the purpose of security and safety measures.
I'm now on the West Coast Main Line on board this cross-country trains class 220 Voyager 220011. We're headed towards Crewe, which is a few cross-country services do go by Crewe. Then once it goes to Crewe, it turns off to go by Winslow to Stockport and on to Manchester Piccadilly, which will get to Manchester Piccadilly for 0824. Now we are a few minutes behind schedule, but it doesn't really affect me too much for my next train, because my next train is at 0849, which gets me to Reddish North for just under an hour's filming before we leave. But when I get to Reddish North, I'll explain more when we get there. So we are, like I said, heading towards Crewe. I'm now at my first station of the day, Reddish North. Now this station was opened in 1875 by the Sheffield and Midland Companies Committee. Now this was a joint venture between the Manchester, Sheffield and Lincolnshire Railway and the Midland Railway. The station was originally named Reddish until 1951, when the station had its name changed to Reddish North, which is the current name today. Now, some of the original buildings at this station have been demolished, but there is one thing that's still intact but without rails, and it's behind me right here, which is the old goods shed. Now it's used as a timber merchant. Now I'm at this station here till 9:51, because during 8:55 to 9:51 there is about 6 trains stopping at this station. After 9:51 I'm travelling back up the line in that direction to Ashburys, which I've got a 5-minute connection to change trains to my next destination, Dinting. Class 323 electric multiple unit is lovely cruising down the former Woodhead route. This once took you from Manchester Piccadilly, or Manchester London Road at the time, to Sheffield Victoria via Hatfield and Penistone. We're getting off at Dinting, but when this gets off at Dinting it's actually going to go to Glossop first, then on to Hatfield to come back on itself to Dinting. Which is unusual, because when I went there one time to Dinting, he actually went to Hatfield first, then Glossop, and then came back to Dinting that way. But I think the summer timetable they go Glossop, Hatfield, and the winter timetable they go Hatfield, Glossop. But Guy Bridge is going to be next anyway. Now that's something that did not catch my eye on when I checked real-time trains, because I thought originally that trains from here went to Glossop, straight to Hatfield, and then straight back to Dinting. I was wrong, and I've learned something new today, because what the plan is, they're actually going from here to Glossop to Hatfield, back to Glossop, back to Dinting. So this platform here is the only platform used today. So I might see if we can get a cheeky ride to Glossop instead of waiting here for the train I was supposed to catch back. So in 1845 the Glossop branch opened, and the station was built as a temporary station in 1847 on the site of the current station. However, the current station was built in 1848, and a direct south curve was added in 1884, which we're standing on right now, where the station was rebuilt to allow through trains from Glossop to Manchester. Now, I was planning to leave here on the 11:51 to Manchester Piccadilly, so I can catch the 12:30 to Horwich Parkway. Now, what I might just add in is that I might just take the next train at 11:25 off here, go to Glossop, have a quick look at Glossop, and then come back from Glossop. Behind me at Dinting Station is Dinting Viaduct. Now, there was a tragedy on that viaduct in 1855 when the Littlemore Independent Chapel and a bunch of school teachers decided to go to Bellevue in Manchester on Wakes Week, when Glossop was having their Wakes Week. Now, also with them was a guy called John Healy, his girlfriend Jane Hadfield, who were travelling back on the train from Manchester with the teachers. Now, when the train stopped on the viaduct, because there was a signal there at the time, because Dinting Station was busy, they had to shut the train onto the Glossop Bay platform while they were sorting stuff out. Unfortunately, they mistaken the bridge as the station, so John Healy decided to get up off his feet, open the door, stood on the edge of the bridge, grabbed his girlfriend's arm to help her off the bridge. She accepted, and they plunged off the bridge. It's very tragic indeed, to be honest. They fell 70 feet down below. Now, the next person there was a woman called Harriet Hampson, who decided to leave the train herself, but a guy called William Yates, who watched the thing in horror, decided to tell them to get back into the carriage. So they got back in the carriage and they were fine. Then there was a third guy called Thomas Priestnall, who decided to get up, open the door, and he fell off the bridge as well, landed on the floor. Now, when the train actually got into Dinting Station, they alerted the porters, a search party happened, they went down the embankment and they found John Healy and Jane Hadfield dead on the scene. As for Thomas Priestnall, he was still living but was unconscious, and they brought him back to Dinting Station, but 40 minutes later after that he passed away. Very tragic indeed, to be honest. But we are going to Glossop. What we're going to do is when we get this is actually not planned, this Glossop thing, so we're going to Glossop, fill the train out, fill the train arriving, and then we'll jump back on that train to head back to Manchester. this is Glossop Station. Now what I've done is I've left the train here so it can go to Hatfield, then it will come back from Hatfield to Glossop, board the train at Glossop, and then I'm going to do Glossop straight to Manchester Piccadilly. Once I get back to Manchester Piccadilly, I do have a Seria collection for the 12:30 train, which goes to Blackpool North, but it will take me to Holwich Parkway, which will be my last destination. So I'm just waiting for this train to come in now, and then we're off to Manchester. Harwich Parkway station. Now, out of the 5 stations I visited today, this one being one of the 5, this one is the youngest station of them all, because this one opened on the 2nd of July 1999. Now, Harwich did have an original station on a branch line from Blackrod, which was opened on the 14th of February 1870. And in 1884, Harwich Works was opened, which was a major locomotive works where they built steam locomotives. But the station closed on the 27th of September 1965. But the works was kept open until 1983. This station is also the closest station to the Reebok Stadium, which is now the University of Bolton Stadium, where Bolton Wanderers play, which was built in 1997. Now, one thing I did notice with Harwich Parkway is, because the last time I was here, there was no masts up. This was completely a diesel route of diesel multiple units. But now, it is completely different. There's electric trains running on this line, or as Lord Drog likes to call it, the Bolton Corridor. And it does feel different. It's like my local area of Rugeley. We've recently had electric trains introduced. So is this line. They've had electric trains introduced recently. So it's all changed, but it's for the better. So after here, we'll be catching a train just after 2:15, heading to Bolton, so we can change up Bolton for a train to get me to Hindley, which is our 4th station of the day. So, my train to Bolton is 3 minutes late. It's here at 14:18 now, not 14:15, which is fair enough because I don't leave Bolton till 14:39 to get to my next station. So we do have plenty of time, so it's not to worry. It will be here shortly and then straight to Bolton. I'm now at Bolton Station after walking from one platform to another, which takes a long time, like Nottingham Station. Now, as you can see, there's two trains to Wigan North Western. There's a 1413 to Wigan North Western, which is probably long gone by now, which is currently on platform 5. And on platform 4 is the 1439 to Wigan North Western, which is by our train. And the time is just gone 2:30. I think that 1413 should be off the board by now. Do you agree? I'm now at Hindley Station. Now, before I go through the history of Hindley Station, I just want to point out that this station is lovely, because the friends of Hindley Station have done a good job with this, and I want to show some of the stuff they planted on this station. Hindley Station was owned by the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway on the 20th of November 1848. On the 1st of July 1950 it was renamed to Hindley North, because there was also another Hindley station in the area called Hindley South, which was opened by the Wigan Junction Railway. Hindley South Station closed on the 2nd of November 1964. As for Hindley North Station, on the 6th of May 1968 the station was renamed back to Hindley. Now, in a second, I'm going to go over to the other side of the station because I want to show you something on the other side. Now, at Hindley Station, they used to have 4 tracks, 4 platforms. Now, the ones we're standing on now are the slow lines, which are still in use, but we have a look over in this direction here, which you can still make it out, which you can just see behind me here, is two disused platforms. Now these used to have the fast lines on these platforms, but the tracks of this fast line were taken out of use on the 21st of November 1965. Now if you have a look a bit further down the station, you can still see remnants of the old disused platforms. In about 12 minutes or so, we'll be leaving here on this Stainbridge train at 16:13, because our last station of the day that I'll be filming at for an hour is Ashton-under-Lyne, which I'm going to be on this from Hindley all the way to Ashton-under-Lyne by Manchester Victoria. We're just waiting for one fast train to pass through, and then it'll be my train out of here. I'm now on the train to Ashton-under-Lyne by Manchester Victoria, and as you can see we're on a pacer for about good 40-50 minutes. But sadly though, there's nobody on this pacer except for me. I'm now at my last station of the day, Ashton-under-Lyne. Now you don't have to stand outside a pub to admire how beautiful this station building is. Ashton Station was opened on the 13th of April 1864 by the Ashton, Stalybridge and Liverpool Junction Railway. At the time when it was built, it was just named Ashton. When the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway took over, the station was renamed Ashton Charlestown in 1874. However, there was two other stations in Ashton. There was Ashton Park Parade Station between Guy Bridge and Stalybridge, built in 1845 but closed in 1956. And then there was another station called Oldham Road Station, which closed in 1959. Sadly, I don't have the date of when it opened. So Ashton Charlestown Station was the only one left in Ashton. Now on the 6th of May 1968, this station was renamed to its current station name, Ashton-under-Lyne. Now after our session filming trains passing through here, I'm moving on to Stalybridge to change trains. And then once at Stalybridge, I'm getting a Trans-Pennine Express service back to Manchester Piccadilly. And I'll be getting a northern service back to Crewe because I'm going to start making my way back home. There is also something else about Ashton-under-Lyne Station. In July 2017 there was a 3-week engineering blockade at this station, which saw the track throughout the station realigned and the road underbridge replaced to allow for faster line speeds. At that time they were only replacing buses to Stalybridge and trains were being terminated short of this station, or they actually being diverted to Crewe at Stalybridge and terminate there. But like I said, it was a brilliant station. It still is a brilliant station, and it's good to buy it from the platform itself. At Stalybridge Railway Station, as you can see behind me, the 1823 to Manchester Piccadilly is running late. It's now due here at 1836, which was my train back to Manchester Piccadilly. So what's happening now is I'm going to have to wait here, catch that train at 1823, which is running late, and get back to Manchester Piccadilly with 10 minutes to change for the train that I'm supposed to catch out of Manchester Piccadilly to get to Crewe. Luckily though, it's the northern service, so stopping everywhere. Fail that, I might do something different to get back, but I'm planning to get back to Crewe and then get back from Crewe to Rugeley Trent Valley direct on the 2035, because the Rugeley trains onto London don't stop at Stoke-on-Trent anymore. So, oh, it's 1837 now, so it's really a bit late, so I might have to change the plan slightly. I'm now at Crewe Station. Now, I could get the 1935, which is already gone, but I had time for that, but I didn't want to get that. So I want to see if there's any movements around Crewe before I go. This is not what the movements I'm after. How rude. But no, I want to see if there's any interesting movements before I get the 2035 to Rugeley Trent Valley, which goes direct to Stafford now, not by Stoke-on-Trent anymore. But I'm also going to get something to eat at Crewe, because there's a McDonald's 5 minutes down the road. So that's why I'm holding off for the 2035. Now, usually when I get back to Rugeley Trent Valley after 9 o'clock, I'm like, forget it, I'm walking back home. Because the next train's usually at 21:45. Not anymore, because thanks to the new timetable shake-up, there's now a train at 9:30 to Rugeley Town, which I'm about to go over the footbridge now to catch that train to Rugeley Town, which has just come in when the Northampton train just left. Before I get started with the sunrise today up, it's alright because I'm just smiling a little bit because I was just chatting with the driver of this train to Northampton, and apparently he was on the last DMU out of Rugeley Town, which I filmed on Saturday the 18th, yeah, the 18th. And he was just asking me how these units are, and I was like chatting with him, and I think he's seen my blog on the Chase Live with the last DMU, the first DMU and all that, which was a good weekend actually, I'll be honest. In case you haven't seen it, I'll just put the link up now. Anyway, so today has been quite good. We got the 5 stations that I wanted to do done. We got, now I'm going to have to remember these because it's been a long day. Reddish North, which was quite good. Then we went to Dinting, which did surprise me a little bit, but nothing used platform 1, everything used platform 2, which, to be fair, on a personal opinion, did disappoint me a little bit, but it's fine, I can live with that. Then we went to Parkway, which everything was all EMU except for the last train that arrived, which was a pacer. Then we went to Hindley, which I really liked Hindley Station. It does look basic with the shelters, the dot matrix trees, but how the friends at Hindley Station did that station is brilliant. Dressed it all up, lovely. And then the last station of the day was Ashton-under-Lyne, which, believe it or not, the only time I went to that station was before they did that July 2017 engineering work. So everything was alright, there was no problems. There was a few trains really late, but I managed to connect all my services. So I'm going to end it now. As you can see up here, there's a notification bell, so if you want to watch any more of my videos, feel free to put the notification bell on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, it's your senior conductor speaking. Welcome to the 21:30 West Midlands Road service to Northampton via Birmingham New Street. We'll be calling out to Rugeley Town.
You're on my social media now, so I'm going to put that on at the end. And thank you for watching, and we're going to film this out of Rugeley Town.